So late last week, I got a text from a number I didn't recognize, and then another text from a number I didn't recognize. It was a group message that was basically a political debate. I'm like, why am I in this group? How did you guys get my phone number? And it was just not a good way to do it. I mean, you just don't do that sort of thing via text. But one phrase in particular that frustrated me was, and you call yourself Catholic. It's like, self-righteous sort of thing, like if you're going to vote a certain way. The problem with phrases like that is it communicates disrespect. And if your end goal is to get someone to change their mind, that's not the way to do it. It does not actually help with the end goal. And, so even if you're right, it still is unhelpful. Also being whiny is another thing to not do. If it's like, oh, look at us, we're so, everyone's so opposed to us and just whining, it does not convince people, hey, that they should be part of this. And so those are phrases to kill, any sort of self-righteous thing. Now there is a time and a place for fraternal correction. There is a time to tell people that, what you believe actually has demands on the rest of your life. It's not this thing that you put in a box. There are good ways of doing that. There are also bad ways, which is the, self-righteous, you call yourself Catholic, or how dare you, or things like that. So we definitely shouldn't shy away from fraternal correction. But the way that we act should not push people away from us. Now, the truth of what we say might push people away, but that's not us being jerks. That's them rejecting what we're proposing. If we push them away because we're a jerk, that's a different thing. So the second point of this whole political rant sort of thing is another thing that we should stop doing is taking things that aren't church teaching and insisting they are. Usually what this shows up as is when someone is loyal to one particular political party. There are true things in any political party with their platform, and there are also false things that we should reject. So they latch onto the true things and then accept the false things as well, and insist all of those are what the church teaches. I think the biggest example I see of this is over big government, small government. There is no church teaching on that. So insisting that you have to be Catholics must vote a certain way on the issue of size of government is not a thing. There's something like abortion, yeah, that is. Sanctity of life is massive. That is a church teaching. You should insist that it is a church teaching. But the things that aren't, the things that are beyond what the church teaches, if we insist that they are, one, people will get confused. They're like, wait, the church actually teaches this? Or two, it just makes us all look bad if it's not true. Because then people, if they look into it and they see, oh, this isn't actually a Catholic thing, but this Catholic said it was, it's just not helpful. So, we've got a couple weeks left election-wise, and so these are some things that we can do, and also not just now with an upcoming election, but also in general. It seems like a lot of the really inflammatory and not factual-based headlines tend to be shared by some branch of Christian. And so there's certain websites where it's I'm never going to share this because the story leads you to believe one thing is going to happen and the article just doesn't substantiate it. And so if I share it, it makes me look bad to everybody else. It's written entirely to the people who already agree and pushes away everybody else. That's called an echo chamber when you're just surrounded by people who think the same way you do. And it's not helpful. It does not lead to dialogue. It does not lead to evangelization. It doesn't lead to anything helpful except comfort and just sitting here and being comfortable. So there you go, some political stuff. Hope you find it helpful. If you disagree, that's cool too. You can respond. That's what comments are for. You don't have to agree with me, and we can start discussing things.